everybody, it's Paul. So when I was young, I dreamed about having guitars with dragons in them. Everybody's aware that we did what's called now a Dragon 1 out of the factory. But early on, the guitar that I had a dragon inlaid here by Jude Van Dyke. And she had inlaid this dragon that I played for years. And then we did another one for Nancy Wilson of Heart that had an opal for an eye. And so the dragons were played around with a lot long before we ever started to put one on a full fretboard. There's been a history of fingerboard dragons, body dragons, stuff going up onto the headstock, onto the body, the double neck dragon. This is what we would call a fingerboard dragon, but the very first dragons, nobody wanted them, and now you can't find one, and they're highly valuable. So I like that this dream of dragons on guitars worked out. Anniversary Dragon. For me, I don't want to just make some piece of art. I want it to be an extraordinary instrument, and it should be picked up, be able to be used in a recording session, at a gig. It should be not just a piece of art, but it should be a hell of a guitar, and that's important to me, and that's the part I really like about this 40th Anniversary Dragon. The guitar has a very strong zero Cody neck, mahogany back, ridiculously curly maple top that we stained this beautiful black-brown color. This is the kind of curly maple that people, dream of. This is the rare stuff. The guitar is based on a McCarty. It's got McCarty electronics, these new McCarty pickups, McCarty bridge, the body thickness of a McCarty. It's got a McCarty feel to it, but the very first Dragon 1 that had the dragon on the fretboard, that was the first McCarty. That was the first 22 fret guitar. And now, 40 years later, here's a McCarty Dragon. Kind of seems time, doesn't it? There's 207 pieces of inlay work in here. You get one of these, get under a bright light and start moving around, because it's a lot going on in this thing. There's a huge amount of intricate work in here that has to be seen to really appreciate. This black and white ebony fingerboard is inlaid into a regular ebony fretboard. And we did it so that it would be bound in ebony without gluing binding on. The amount of artwork between Jeff Easley, who drew it, and Jamie Aulson at Aulson Inlay and the people here at PRS is not trivial. There's a huge amount of work that went into this. I think it's one of the prettiest dragons we've ever done. I like them because they're art and guitar mixed, but this one is a hell of a guitar mixed with a beautiful piece of art. So PRS's relationship, my relationship with Jeff Easley, started with the Dragon 3, and he's the Dungeons and Dragons, one of their main artists for doing dragons. And he's always come up with these fascinating designs, and to get them to turn into an inlay as an art form all itself, really a half a year of constant work of drawing each individual part, getting them to fit beautifully on the computer, getting it to match the drawing exactly right, picking what the materials are. It's a long, arduous, but fun project when you have a good drawing. They say that sometimes art to a great mix is having a great song. Same thing with an inlay. If you've got a really good drawing, it flows easy from that. And Jeff did a beautiful job on this drawing. It's very intricate, and there's a lot going on in it. I think Aulson Inlay knocked the ball over the wall. They did a great job. So we've always used dragons as a way to release new pickups. The original ones had the original Dragon 1 pickups, and it was our dipping into adding more turns to the pickup to give it a throatier sound. And they're coveted and people really like them. This one is supposed to be throaty, but in a very clear way. And I just want to give you an idea of what this guitar sounds like just as a guitar. So that's the bass pickup. Here's the treble pickup. Wow, what a guitar. See you, everybody. Bye.